YouTube, Benzo here, side of the road, getting ready to do a hike down, find a little piece of water, see if we can find some gold in it. What else pops out, we'll find out as the day goes on. Let's get to it. What's on the list for today? We got our shovel and sluice, cooler and bucket, con bucket, got our pack here, tripod, we got some bug spray, extra snuffer, we got our pans, classifiers, chair, and a couple other little necessities along the way. And maybe I'll just grab those waders and throw in here, the hip waders. Let's go. Well, that wasn't so bad a hike. Last time I was here, I think I was the first person through in about 2 weeks. I come out with a pound of spider webs on me and some bites. This is the first spot I can see water. Thought I'd just walk off the trail a little bit and come down and see what the water's looking like. We got flow, evidence of workings. Let's take a look. Nice and clear. We got flow. That's always good. It's upstream. It's downstream. I am wearing some tight wrap glasses to try to keep the gnats out of your eyes. They're serious. And the shirt tucked in this time. Keep the bugs from crawling up under my shirt. You got to keep making adjustments to the forest. And those types of things won't be important in a few months. The best time to come prospecting is coming up. It's pretty much hunting season when it's most dangerous out here. No bugs, no heat, no snakes, no problems. You got to worry about getting shot. That's a problem. Video update. I decided to stay at this one spot. Didn't feel like trudging through the spider webs and getting deeper down, and because I'm not going to break any records today. I just want to get out here and have some exercise in the fresh air. That's really all the goal is today, and to do a little shoveling. A few minutes and I beefed up the sides here. The hole's getting pretty good size here. Getting ready to clean it out for the first time. Haven't seen any gold yet. I'm gonna leave the tailings piled up behind it while I clean it out, because if you clear those out, it increases the flow. When you pull your sluice, better chance that any bedding that you've set up is going to blow out and go away. So I'm gonna get the pan and set it up, see if we can see some gold for the first gold of the day. See what we got in this first run here. It was just a bunch of overburden, no hard digging, not much clay or anything like that, but there's a little gold, a touch. Got some lead, some massive lead there, look at that, and a touch of gold. It is not impressive, I'll tell you. Whoa, what happened there? Is there something on that lens? Not impressive amount of gold, just a little bit. And you want to talk about some fines. Must be something on that lens. Alright, lens clean. Let's see what this thing can do. Times 2. Times 3. Times 5. Oh. Well, you gotta get back off on the times 5. Times 10. Oh, times 20. Oh, I can't hold it still. Well, shoot, that's not even snuffer worthy. I'm just going to wash all this in my little con bucket, and I'm probably going to start shoveling material from somewhere else. Video update. It's getting warm. I did a little bit more shoveling and a clean out. It wasn't near the amount of the material as the first one. It was a little closer to the side, a couple steps that way. I was just toting stuff. I got a little break area set up there. I've been chilling out from time to time. Check out what just came out of the ground. A dangerous piece of glass. Have to get that out of here. I saw a couple brown pieces of glass float through the sluice, but couldn't get them. They just floated down. They weren't big. I'll check the tail end and see if it can pop up. But I'm out here shoveling. Ain't much gold, but I'm enjoying the outside. Enjoying the exercise. It's a good temperature. Getting a little warm, but I'm not dying. So I'm just going to enjoy myself out here today. And do a little shoveling. See what the flood brought in. You never know. Might get lucky. So I'm going to do a big run here. I got it opened up. After seeing the difference, I'm just going to shovel what's easy to shovel and go at it. Have some fun at it. Let's get digging. Checking in. Nearly break time. Time to reapply. Get something to drink. Maybe a snack. Show you what I got. Working in the area. Sluice is ready to clean out. It's like it shifted a little bit. I keep hearing something on my left in the brush. And you keep hearing something and it keeps coming. It's usually a slow moving snake, but I ain't worried about it. It's usually a black snake. But this is what I'm looking at. Kind of punched through here in the middle. Had some different looking scoops and I was like, well, I'm going to shake one of them out since it looks so different. It's got a lot more dirt, less organics. It's kind of punched through from the old creek bottom. So I'm going to shake that and clean this out, take a little break, set it back up, check back in. Alright, let's check this test pan from the deep. Looks like we got some lead, more lead. Looks like a little cluster of gold up in there. A couple pieces. It's just one test pan. Have to back out in the 10X. There we go. Little cluster there and a couple more pieces. It's not too bad for a test pan, really. Not too bad. If I can send that stuff, I'd have something. Hey, is that gold in the first test pan? Holy smokes. And that ain't dust. We might have a good afternoon. Let's get it. Hey YouTube, Benzo here. Still hot down on the creek. We got a 90 plus today. Feels good out here. Feels good with your feet in the cool water. It's quite cool. So I got my first test pan. You saw that. It had a nice piece of gold. I'm about standing in the middle of the creek here in a popular curve. And I'm just going to sit up here and I'm going to dig out some of these humps in this middle pay streak, hopefully. I'm going to set the sluice up in this area here and rock it out. Hey YouTubers and gold prospectors, Benzo here. Hot and drippy on the side of the creek. I don't know if that cut made it, but we have a clay pan. I scraped down, I was like, ooh, that felt different. I'm just going to run, I need to pan this before I process it. See what we got. What we got? Oh, I don't even know, I just tapped it back. Hit the button, come on finger, move. Alright, here's what we're looking at. Look at that. Right off the bat. I wonder if there's any more up under there. There's a few pieces there. And look at that. Wiry bits. Fantastic. Checking in. I went ahead and run that bucket through. And this is a really quick pan back. Oh yeah. It's a nice piece. There's some fines in there too. Fines all over. But I peeled it back to see if anything was going on. And I bet that's from that one little bit of clay that went through there. Because the rest of it was a little bit overburdened. So it's that clay holding that gold. Bigger stuff. That's all we need. It's sometime later. I've been back to work. I got a two-step system going on right now. I run into two types of material. So here's my sluice setup. Looks like it's pulling a little harder one way than the other. I need to check it. So here's what the little jingle I use to remember. I'm getting overburden and this gray clay, and I'll talk about the gray clay in a second. So the overburden's gonna be brown. So if it's brown, send it down. And if it's gray, there's a delay. But this isn't your normal typical gray clay. So what we got here is I hit a pocket of a deteriorated stone, and we have argillite in this area, and this is a layered, a lot like slate or shell, argillite. And this was the bottom of the creek at one time, and it is not flat and smooth. It is layered and at an angle and full of grooves. So that's the only reason why this is really good to process, is because this was the creek bottom, and you never know. So you're digging up old crevices, really. So this stuff, it don't feel like clay. It's not slicky enough. It's too gooky. So when you're processing this, it'll just bounce right through your sluice box. So I got it. See how sticky it is? But it's not really clay. It don't feel like clay. It feels, I don't know, it feels different. But there's a lot of rocks in this, and so you can only fill this up once or twice, and then you need to flush this bucket. Rinse that out really well, because it's so thick. You're like making your own paint out here. So you keep flushing that, and when it's right, it'll just look like these red and gray, orange pebbles. It won't have the clay in there anymore. But you gotta keep flushing it. So I'm just letting the sluice eat off the top any of the overburden. Let's see if I can set this up here and not ruin everything. Well, I'm ruining some things. Here we go. Let's see what the shovel comes up looking like. This is sticky one. So there's big clumps of this gray stuff. I just throw it over in the sluice box, in the pacifier. Try not to let it bump through. Wash off the rocks. Get the rocks out of the way. Anything that can go down, we send it down. Try to catch the clay balls. And that's about all I can get off this one. And I'm going to throw it on the pacifier. As you see, it's just sticking on there real good. Just sending it through. The bugs are flying, I'm reapplying. It's that time. They're looking for spots I've missed. Sometimes a little lump gets past you and it might bump down the sluice box. Not the end of the world. Sometimes you just got a little piece and you can just break it down in the sluice box. This is in between. It's almost like a brown clay. And you see the rock in there. In the box. In the box. Switch over here to classifier. You see, look at that. See, that's the rock in the crevices, and you can see look at that. But the whole thing itself just to nothing. So it's not necessarily clay. Clay is a deposit. This is deteriorated argillite with clay. Just got to break it down a little bit. Your best weapon is lots of water. The more the merrier. Got to break this stuff down. And we'll see why I'm breaking this stuff down in the last run. This will be the last run. And it'll probably have like all the gold for the day, I'm hoping. I've seen some bigger pieces today. They ignited some gold fever. But this right here is a time thief. If it wasn't holding bigger pieces of gold and wiry bits, there's no chance I'd be in here breaking this down. And yeah, it is faster with two hands. A lot of rock in that. And you'll see in the bottom, after I flush it a couple times, there's a lot of rock in there too. That's under a 1/4 inch. You're like, if it's just clay, why is there so much small pebble? Well, it's not clay. Most people would think it was to be clay. Couple lumps, can't get it all. There's still a couple bigger lumps floating around. Yeah, this will be the last flush, probably. Let's see if there's anything. I haven't seen any crystals today. There's still some clay balls in there. It's not even clean enough. What's that? Almost looks like iron on it. Alright. So we left with this. This was in the bottom. When you flush it, you just stir it up and get it moving. You pour this water off. Not too aggressively. Fresh water in, water out. And you keep stirring until you get it all pulled up so it's not a piece of concrete on the bottom. That looks pretty good. So we'll set this back up. Check this out, see why it's pushing one side so hard, and get back digging. Well, that's kind of like work. I'm calling for another break. I went ahead and pulled the sluice box of the brown, sanded down, overburden type stuff, taking some clay with it. I've been working on that bucket. I'm after break probably going to finish that bucket out and send it and call it. But what was in those overs? Holy smokes! There's a wiry bit. Look at that. This guy's shape to it. It's like a little fish. And some nice pieces. Yeah, there's some mercury floating around. You won't see this gold again. Once it goes in the snuffer bottle, it comes out silver. We're in the mercury patch today for sure. You see bits of it. It's a nice piece of gold though. That's just the over sending it down. I'm glad I didn't just throw it aside. Trying to get back at it. Totally soaked today, but it's cooling down. It's getting evening. Cooling off. I should be by myself down here, but I keep hearing an empty bucket dunk from that direction, but I'm not going to check it out. Might be some type of skinwalker situation. Got a nice big hole here. What I was going to do at the end was continue what I was doing and try to go ahead and fill that bucket up with some more of that gray clay. Hopefully it's as gold bearing as some of the tests showed, because that'll be a nice little 0.07 bucket run probably if that holds out. Other than that, big old hole right dead nuts center creek, getting in some of that stuff. Sluice box set back up again, buckets over there. But before I'm going to get back in there and do all that before I crunch it in, I'm going to hit it with the sucker bottom there. I'm going to probably put one in a pan. I'm going to go ahead and do that and just start throwing some through the sluice, get moving again. Have me a PB&J to restore electrolytes, and I'm good to go now. I got this last run going. I went ahead and cleaned out anything I did with the sucker and anything I sent through. So I started fresh. And maybe this wasn't flushed as good as it should have been to start with. But we're here now. I had to step on this side and get everything set up just right. Here's that last run. It's supposed to be in the good bucket. It ain't that good. But you can see some gold pieces, some little flecks. I might have better pieces and bigger pieces and better looking pieces along the way. But hey, sometimes your plans don't pan out. But I sure have fun along the way, and I got a little bit of gold to show for it. Let's snuff this up and get our cons concentrated and holes filled in and get a little bit more work done here. Let's get to it. End of the day here, getting all cleaned up. In the past, I used to tear out my walls and fill in my holes completely. Nothing wrong with doing that. Then I found out they hire people and get volunteers to come out here and build walls. So I don't tear my walls out like I used to. Maybe I open the flow, but I don't tear my walls out like I used to. And my holes, if you notice, the holes seem to be a little paradise for the wildlife. So I'll fill them in partially and make sure there's no ankle breakers or dangerous things. Usually they just turn into an open basin, just kind of widen out. I'll put a couple big rocks in and fill it in. Here, it's partially filled out. I'm going to slide that big rock in a little bit more, and it's going to fill in around it. And it's mostly full, as long as it's not an ankle breaker. But last run was a little disappointing after seeing so much nice wiry gold and flaky bits and good stuff coming out. It looked like maybe it was concentrating that down. Who knows? Maybe there was a whole ball of mercury in there and I washed it into my cons and I missed it all. It's possible. Who knows? I was panning quick at an angle and that stuff will run out. But I expected to see more of that and I didn't. So who knows? I got my cons here. I got my everything set up. The hike's not going to be too bad, especially since I got everything staged up over there and I'm going to dry foot it. I'm going to switch out to some dry stuff and it's going to make the hike out and the ride home so much more nice. So I'm going to see if I can get some more of this gold isolated and show it to you in some photographs. So until next time, get in the creek and get that gold. Hey you two, Benzo, back out in the creek, getting at it. It's fall now. I'm standing here in the middle of the creek in the waders, fighting the bugs, having a good time. I just pulled a little scoop up. We're going to take a look. This is one scoop from the bottom of the creek. And I got some shingled rocks, some gray clay, and some nasty stuff. So let's see if just this little bit of material is producing. Am I on the pay streak? Got a quick spin from just a touch of material. And we got a piece. That's not dust, that's a little fleck of gold. There might be some more fines in there. But that's what I wanted to see. See if we was on the flicks. Let's get it. So I'm buried up here in the middle of the creek. There's my bucket I'm working on. There's my shovel. I'm digging from right there. Right there. Bucket's full enough to tote down. Still digging in this area. It's expanding out a little bit this way and that way. But when it's full enough, I took me a scoop from a little bit this way, where the material is coming out a little quicker and a little easier, towards the center of the creek. Half a pan shake. What do we get? That's a damn good test pan. That's all I'm going to say. Wow. Fever! Ooh, looks like gold's back on the menu, boys. I got this 3/4 of a bucket down here. Of course, I forgot my scoop, and I'm just I hand fed it down through here. Let me show you my scoop. Yeah, I got it dammed up right now because I need to store up as much water as I can for each bucket run. A watermelon Red Bull. Summer, it's not over, but it is. So I know you want to see this pan. What's about this pan? What's in this pan? I don't know. It's not the most gold in the world, but I'm pretty damn happy with it. Oh yeah, let's get some close-up zoomies. Oh, I gotta back up. Yeah, I like that zoomie better. I can get closer. That's some nice shape. There's an Oklahoma nugget there. Bunch of bits. We got a right angle up there. That's some good bits, and it's not dust. See, that's the dust, the little tiny bits. See that? Those are flecks. Carolina flecks. Man, that's a good run. Well, time to go home. Snuffer's got a snuff. Get the big one. And don't worry if I miss any dust. Take all these cons out. Back up here, beating on the bedrock. I tell you what, I started over here and I was working my way back this way. And some of the material was easy, some of it was hard. The second round, it's full. I'm ready to carry it down and sluice that. But I tell you what, the material didn't look as good. I wasn't hitting as much clay. I tried to use a sucker tube a little bit and see if I could remove some material and like free up some rocks I can move. And I did move a few rocks and hit some clay pockets, and it started working away this way, that way. But bucket got full, and so I threw a few sucker tubes. Boy, that looks big on camera. Good Lord. It looks huge. It's a nice little fleck of gold, but wow. Camera does it justice. Look at that thing. So that come up with a sucker tube. I have to throw it in the bucket because I ain't got no snuffer up here. It's a nice little flick. There might be some more in there, but there's one. There's 4 or 5 pulls from the bottom. Quick swirl around, see if there was anything over there. So there's some gold in this material. I'd like to get some of the better, heavier clay stuff between the rocks, but they don't come up so easy. Sometimes I have to take the overburden. So I don't expect half the gold in this bucket. We'll see. Let's take it down and run. Everything just wants to fall today. All jammed up, ready to go. Got me a sandwich and a jink right there, ready for a little break. But all I have to say is there must have been a little gold. and that overburden, because I got a little bit more than I expected. I didn't see that much rock or clay go in, but there was some. There was some. So either those pockets were really rich, or there's good gold in some of that overburden. That looks really good. I'm gonna snuff this up and take a little break and get to it. Flowing good now. So I come out here the other day and I just did a couple walkabouts. Walked up some gullies, walked down some streams, did a test pan here or there. And it led me up to that spot where I've been digging today, and I had a decent looking test pan with a good number of flecks and about 5 flecks of gold in one pan. I'm like, well, that's always considered a really good pan out here. So this is the follow-up trip where I come out here and run a few buckets of high-grade material that I'm pulling out of that area. And the first 2 buckets have been pretty good, even though there's been a variety of material going in the buckets. There's a bedrock running through there, and it seems shallow in places and running different which ways, and trying to run with it. And found a channel and ran that out today, and that gave me my 3 buckets. But how much good material is there, I don't know.
every bucket was like from a new spot. It just ran out and you just had to keep moving. So how far does it go? I don't know. As around here, there's temporary obstructions in this creekway. So you can hit a pay dirt line or a pay pocket, and there's no rhyme or reason why it should be there, except for at one point in time maybe a tree fell down and blocked it off and made a riffle there. And when the tree washed away, it left that deposit just sitting there, looking like it shouldn't even be there. So you never know where you can find one in these long cuts in the creek. It's going pretty good today for fall. We haven't had any rain lately. Not much.
We got some interesting results. Third run here. Okay, we got lead. We got some of the bigger stuff, but not as big, not as many. So here's the thing, the third bucket was fuller than the second bucket. I thought the second bucket wasn't going to be as good. I kind of went a different direction on the second bucket. So now I know what I need to do when I come back and hit that spot next time. Hanging out with everybody here in the shack. Got a snuffer dump from the field right here. Check this gold out. Oh, wow. Look at that color pop on this camera. Fantastic. Looks great.